Hey guys, Dev here with another review for YouNerded.com, this time for Vice Principal Season 1, Episode 2. This episode got oddly dark, like a little bit, like uncomfortably dark. It was kind of weird and sort of felt, I didn't think the show was going to go there, but they did. But I sort of want to start at the top of what led to that whole destruction scene, like right in the middle of the episode. And that was the sort of backwoods meeting, literally between Lee and Neil. What I like about this scene is why I like vice principals, and that's the fact that you take these mundane sort of positions like being a vice principal and puts them in these exaggerated sort of war parties here with these two going head to head. But they sort of had a temporary alliance, as they put it, just to dethrone Belinda pretty much. And what they found out is actually pretty crucial to their employment at the school, and that's that Belinda actually fired all of her VPs at her last 3 positions. So that's pretty insane. That's a pretty big threat for our 2 leads here. And what that leads to is them trying to get dirt on her as fast as possible to get her out of that position. What they did was a bit insane, a little bit over the top. They went to her house, obviously trying to get dirt through like her trash, but then sort of Gamby trying to prove that he's trying to one-up Lee in a way, breaks into Belinda's house, and that leads to this whole destruction. Now, Lee sort of propels this whole situation even further by breaking a mug and then going further there, and I thought that was sort of going to be the end of it. Maybe they'll do a couple things, but it went off the rails and got pretty crazy. You had the table being broken, you had the chairs going through the wall, you had knives in the pillows, you had a ceiling fan coming down. It was a lot of stuff, and it was like funny to watch, but at the same time I was like, oh, this is kind of weird. Like they were just destroying this woman's house who got a job that they didn't get. And then Lee sort of showed his true colors, who was like this, he's always been that sinister sort of calculating side to Neil's like sort of impulse sort of craziness, but he goes ahead and sets the house on fire, which I was pretty shocked by. And as they're driving away, I'm like, I don't know if that's funny. I don't know. It felt kind of weird to me, but it still sort of revealed these characters to be like who they are. And we see that Lee is sort of really kind of insane. Like he sort of would do anything for this job, and it seems kind of weird. Like you can tell he's been fighting for it. So the fact that he would burn someone's house down and get all this dirt on them and sort of just be very calculated. I wouldn't be surprised if he does anything more sinister to try and get Gamby out of the way and Belinda out of the way. But we'll just have to see where that ends up. One character I did like the introduction of was Blythe Cecil, which Belinda obviously reminded Gamby how to say. I thought his character was pretty funny. He had no words, but he would just sit there and write stuff down, which is always an annoying thing, like especially in like a comedy, like what are you writing down type thing. But I thought it was funny how he would just like stalk Gamby there, especially that scene where he thought he was actually at his daughter's sort of polo training thing, which I thought was pretty cool. And then Lee, we got a little bit of a peek of his home life too with Michonne and his girlfriend, who obviously Gamby in his dumb idiotic way thinks he has to speak in an Asian accent to be able to communicate with her, which I thought was just dumb, hilarious, like just dumb fun. Anyway, I like this episode. I gave it a 72 out of 100, which is still a good score here. YouNerded, a little bit lower than last week just because I didn't think it was a strong opening like the premiere was, and I thought that dark turn sort of threw things off a little bit, but overall I thought it was still pretty good. If you liked the episode, definitely leave us a comment below and let us know what you liked about it. Tweet me at nerddot on Twitter if you want to talk to me about some things. Otherwise, always give us a like and always subscribe, and then we'll be back here next week with another review of Vice Principals.